Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Unreal Engine 6 just had some massive news announced at the State of Unreal at Unreal Fest Chicago. Epic Games just announced and explained how Unreal Engine 6 architecture will work, how it will power new games and titles with hundreds of thousands of players, and how it will replace Unreal Engine 5. And they also announced and revealed the official release date schedule for UE6 Early Access and UE 6.0. And if you guys are new here to the channel, my name is Smart Paul. I make all sorts of Unreal Engine news, tutorials, and content, so make sure you hit the subscribe button. And with all that being said, let's go ahead and get right into the biggest first announcement. So the biggest announcement is that Unreal Engine 6 Early Access release date is scheduled for the end of 2027. Well, ish. And what they mean by that is that this is assuming if they don't have any serious delays, and of course that happens all the time with game development. And this is just the early access version. So the actual production ready version out of early access, aka version 6.0, that is actually scheduled to release 12 to 18 months after the early access release, which would put us at the end of 2028 or even sometime in mid 2029, assuming of course there aren't any delays. And while that's pretty far away, I honestly believe that it's still going to come very quickly, and it is pretty fast when it comes to things like game engine development. Game engine development usually takes multiple years, if not decades, to develop. So we're talking only about a year and a half from now to early access and maybe 2+ years to official release. That's still pretty crazy and ambitious. And before we continue on to the next biggest announcement, I want to quickly tell you about my Unreal Engine Masterclass course bundle. I just launched a brand new Unreal Engine Masterclass course. This bundles together all of my courses showing you how to make games inside of Unreal Engine. This Masterclass course has over 150+ hours of learning content, and I will show you how to make 8 different games from complete scratch. You'll master multiplayer networking, survival mechanics, AI, user interfaces, game optimization, mobile development, and so much more. Included in the Masterclass bundle are all the completed game project source files, so you can use them as reference while you learn, or if you just want the completed game project, we have you covered. Check out the Unreal Engine Masterclass link in the description below, and with that being said, let's get right back to the video. Also, Epic announced that they will be shipping games built on UE6 prior to official release to, quote, make sure that they get it right. Now, what this actually means for Unreal Engine 5, I mean, there still are lots of developers and studios out here using UE5 working on active games and projects, not to mention all of the UE5 features, things like blueprints, scripting, Niagara, particle effects, meta sounds, and so much more. What is going to happen to all this? Is it all going to just disappear and be replaced by UE6? Well, Epic has stated here that Unreal Engine 5.8 will be the last official version of UE5 release. However, they did clarify that they still may release another version, maybe 5.9 if they need to.
And while we're not currently planning another official UE5 release after 5.8, we do reserve the right to ship a 5.9 if needed. You never know.
But basically, this is going to be the last version of Unreal Engine 5. And what that actually means for some of the UE5 features like blueprint visual scripting, blueprint actors, is that they actually still will be carrying these over to Unreal Engine 6. However, they will be depreciating this and eventually replacing it with the verse programming language. Now, honestly, this is pretty sad news for, people like myself who actually love visual scripting and blueprints, but I think that the replacement verse could be pretty promising. Essentially, verse is Epic's proprietary programming language and framework, and Unreal Engine 6 is built entirely around it. How it works is that verse is set up in a way that all the backend, like the server architecture, the database, everything is already handled and set up for you. And the way that they explained it is that your game code is distributed between different servers, basically like a multi-server system, similar to how a MMO would operate. And they mentioned that because of the design and architecture of verse, it's actually allowed and supports having thousands of players, if not potentially millions. They mentioned that the developers are actively researching and working on this exact feature to make this possible. Now, it's pretty crazy, the concept of this, because in UE5, current replication is that the server architecture limits us to about 100 players per single threaded CPU server. And for example, we have games like Fortnite capped at 100 players, but with verse and UE6, this is supposed to change everything with basically MMO server capabilities built ready out of the box. So hypothetically, all you'd have to do as a game developer to, set this up is to just utilize their Verse API, and everything from the framework and backend would be already set up. Another huge point that Epic made with UE6 is that previously Epic has focused on major graphics improvements when it comes to a new engine iteration. For example, with UE4 to UE5, they introduced, dynamic lighting like like lumen and nanite geometry as the new major graphics changes from UE4 to UE5. But instead with UE6, they are actually not putting the graphics first. They are instead focusing on the foundations of the engine, which I think is incredibly important, especially after all the stuff that's been going on with Unreal Engine 5. And it's definitely what you want to hear, not only the developers, but also the players. Epic is putting the engine first rather than putting the graphics first. Now, they did mention a few big things that are going to change in Unreal Engine 6. The first of which is gameplay programming. So basically, they want to make gameplay programming simpler for creating large-scale worlds. Again, this comes back to Verse, the programming language, which is going to power all of that. And the second biggest change is that code and content should be portable. What this means is that they want all the assets inside of Unreal Engine 6 to be easily modular and portable between different games and projects. So for example, currently with the Unreal Engine marketplace like Fab, people sell things like templates, blueprint systems, and currently these user systems have their own design architecture. Like for example, if someone were to make a car blueprint that's interactable, or maybe like an RPG game template, they might have different architecture or designs with blueprints. Well, with Verse and UE6, from my understanding, they aim to change this and basically have a portable code and content system that works and is compatible with different systems. So if you build like a car that's interactable with Verse, you should be able to use it in pretty much any different project or game that you want to create. Also, they mentioned that they are adopting first-class content formats. So in order to have these different, code standards and industry standards, they're going to be adopting the content formats like GLTF and USD, which are going to be the model formats of Unreal Engine 6. Also, this kind of just ties into the whole metaverse vision that they have for Unreal Engine 6, where they want all the content to be seamless between games. What this means is that they want the player to be able to take Fortnite skins into other games if the game developer allows it. Basically, sort of like a shared economy where you can take all of your inventory and cosmetics into multiple different games. Now, obviously, this might not work for all, game designs, but this is just the general idea. Now, Unreal Engine 6 basically merges Unreal Engine 5 and UEFN together, but in UE6, you can still ship games standalone like you can with UE5. But additionally, this offers some more features, like you can actually build your game once in UE6. Since you're using Verse and their API, you can basically deploy your game to any platform, whether that's PC, console, mobile, even a game inside of a game like Fortnite. Now, I think this is pretty neat because, not only can you additionally just create your own standalone game that maybe if you want to publish on Steam, you can still do that, but also you can publish to other platforms, and it just works outside the box because you're just using the Verse API. Now, as for things like actors and blueprints, like I mentioned before, they will be in early versions of UE6, but they will be depreciated in later versions and basically replaced when the new systems like Verse are a sufficient replacement. So again, Verse is still kind of, early in its development, but eventually it's going to replace blueprints and actors and all that stuff. Now, Epic did mention that you will have conversion tools to move your projects over. And they also mentioned that the switch from UE5 to UE6 for developers is going to be very similar to the upgrade that you had when you upgraded from Unreal Engine 4 to Unreal Engine 5. And what that means is basically when we had to upgrade from UE4 to UE5, it was kind of just like right-clicking your project and switching the version to UE5, but also there would be a lot of changes and a lot of features would break. Like some of the blueprint code had to be manually fixed. You had to create new input actions, all that stuff. So it's probably going to be the same in UE6 where you can take your UE5 project and upgrade it. There might be some changes here and there, but it sounds like they are going to be having those conversion tools to convert your projects over. Also mentioned is that some new features in UE5, which are technically old legacy systems. For example, the Cascade particle system, which was later replaced by Niagara particle system. Cascade is going to be removed entirely in UE6. So I think it's reasonable to expect that some of these features that are old legacy systems are going to depreciate it and be removed over in UE6. And any remaining UE5 changes will be merged automatically to UE6. So if they're working on new experimental features or anything like that, basically, 5.8 features, those are all going to be ported over to UE6, but not vice versa. Now, they did mention that they will be streaming live Unreal Engine 6 engine footage, but the footage is not meant to be considered actual alpha. Probably best to assume that it's sort of like a pre-alpha build of the engine and subject to tons of changes. So I will be be covering and showing you guys that footage of UE6 and what it actually kind of looks like and how the development will actually be when that future live stream comes out. So make sure that you guys are subscribed if you want to see that. Also, they did explain that LLMs and AI will be a big part of UE6. Basically, they've already sort of been using AI to build tools to help debug error messages, other things in their internal development. And currently, it's not actually generating, they're not using AI to generate actual engine code, but it seems like they hinted that they will be doing that in the future, apparently. So yeah, hopefully AI doesn't ruin the engine, but we'll definitely have to see how that pans out in the future. Anyways, Tim Sweeney, the CEO of Epic, wrapped up the whole discussion of UE6 by talking about the current state of the AAA gaming industry, which has kind of been a shit show for the last couple of years, with games costing, tens of millions of dollars to develop and development costs rising. And basically, Tim Sweeney kind of points the reason to the problems behind the gaming industry currently failing, blaming it on a few main things. The first being that people want to have social experiences and play games with their friends. The economy is sort of shifting. People would rather play sort of these free-to-play games where you can buy, cosmetic skins, rather than wanting to make an outright purchase of buying a new game and spending money on that. And, this might just reflect the overall global economy right now, with things costing way more. But yeah, that's just where the gaming industry is apparently moving, to this sort of free-to-play model. Also, the other issue that Tim mentioned that it has to do with is that the market for players' attention is extremely competitive. Basically, Tim cited that, YouTube and TikTok are essentially competing for people's attention when it comes to gaming. People would rather open up YouTube, watch TikTok or scroll through that rather than sit down and play a game. Whereas maybe 15, 20 years ago, all gaming had to compete with was boring television. And Tim basically thinks that in order to combat this, in order to actually improve gaming, the future is for all the developers to come together and create a shared global ecosystem where players can play games and move from one game to another, bring their skins in inventory, and basically a metaverse vision for gaming. And Tim also mentioned that they currently have 80 million monthly active users for Fortnite, and despite that being a massive number, it's still apparently not enough. So he thinks that the vision and the future of gaming is that for all of game devs basically to come together and to create this shared economy and metaverse. And he kind of related this back to Roblox. Roblox is basically already kind of doing this, although Roblox, takes a massive cut from developers. So Epic wants to do the same exact thing, but without being a massive overlord like Roblox. So yeah, let me know you guys' thoughts about this. This is pretty interesting, and I think it's pretty crazy idea and pretty crazy vision for how this is all going to work. Let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments down below. Also, I will be making some follow-up videos showcasing some of the footage of UE6 whenever they come around to making that live stream later today. And that's pretty much it for this video, so hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.